Welcome back. And now I even am on camera. Perfect. Welcome back. And we will continue with our panel. I'm sorry for the noises. I have two cats. But I'd like our panelists to tell a bit about themselves before we start. So, Timo, Kim, and Joona, if you would tell something about yourselves, who you are, what you are
Yeah.
doing. So it would be perfect. Please.
Can
You're
you see
welcome.
me?
Yes, we see you.
Okay, good. Because I don't see myself.
It's your thumb size photo on the right hand side corner, but you need to click X on the chat, then you will see yourself.
Okay, that's good. Yes.
Okay, Kim, you're the youngest one, so be the bravest one and start.
Yeah, so hello everybody. I'm Kim Ordén. Been an entrepreneur now for 5 years. Just my company turned 5 years old and it's not bankrupt yet, so that's a success and requires some attitude. I started studying in Joensuu, game programming in Karolia University of Applied Sciences, and then founded my company 1 month, Firetail Games, 1 month after graduating, and for 2 years approximately we were trying to build it into a very serious, unserious gaming studio. And after that, I was a little while on the university studying educational sciences, and then I ended up working in the mobile game industry for other companies and freelancing. And now currently I'm working for one of the biggest mobile manufacturers in the world, Huawei. So it's been a weird path from Joensuu to this point. So it must have required a bit of attitude, I assume. So, but yeah, Joona, go ahead.
Oh, are we doing age range now? Okay.
Apparently, yes.
Okay.
Timo decided.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
overrated, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
for that.
Okay. I leave you to the last point. So, hi everyone. I'm Joona Kotilainen is my surname, and you could say I'm a local guy from Joensuu. Was born in Kontiolahti, the neighboring municipality, but did my schooling here. Basically, how I got into entrepreneurship is quite heavily related on Russia, actually. I started learning Russian language when I was 10 years old in Finnish Russian school here in Joensuu, and decided to go on that path for quite a while. I ended up studying Russian business in the local university. I ended up working with Russian people in Joensuu. We had a small consultancy where I was working. I was not entrepreneur back then, but I worked with Russians here in Joensuu. I lived for 2 years in St. Petersburg, met a lot of Russians, and basically started my business based on this Russia thing that I had going on. Me and my friend from the university, Jussi Pirhonen, we studied 6 years together. We decided to establish a Russia-focused marketing agency and Russia-focused tourism agency, both exactly when we graduated, and that went all to shit because in 2014 was also the year when Russia invaded Crimea in Ukraine, and there was lots of what are those sanctions? Yeah, the European Union posed sanctions on Russia. Russia posed sanctions on Europe, and ruble crashed in 2014. December, so all of the tourism went down, but that was basically our business. We were trying to sell services for Finnish companies who tried to lure Russian tourists to come into their shops. So we basically lost the basis of our business in the first 6 months when we started. But that was the kickoff point. Now we started to focus on Finland, and now we have 17 people at the moment in our company, but we are a marketing and branding agency at the moment. This is the story of Tovari. But I have been involved in 5 different companies in the last 9 years, and 3 of them are functional at the moment. But I think I'll tell a bit more about those in the panel discussion. I'm leaving the stage to Timo for now.
Thank you. Timo Ruohio is my name, and I currently have like few things that I'm working for, and the main thing is timoruohio.fi, which sells sales and pitching training. Another one is called Fluencer, which sells technology things. And I have a background, about 20 years of entrepreneurship in technology background, in robots and in machine vision and packaging and stuff. And then I have like business coaching years in 8 years of public sector. So I know the both sides of the tables, how it's to be an entrepreneur and how it's to be in teaching people, coaching people. It's not an easy job, but you know, it's fun to see that sometimes you have if you talk about attitude, Kim, we did have some fun times, did we, Kim?
Yeah, we did definitely have.
We had some fun times, yeah.
Yes.
And that's like, you know, being talking about attitude. If you are an entrepreneur, you should have a fun with that, you know. You should have like the grin in your face, like Kim has, and at the, you know, as I say, Kim, he has no beard or I don't know what, but still, or Joona, I don't know, we have known like for years. But the really big thing in attitude and entrepreneurship is that you should have fun when you're doing that. Not like that you have to worry about tons of things. Of course, you have to worry about tons of things, but still not like I have to wait for the holiday. No. You have to be like every day when you wake up in the morning, like, yes, today is like, you know, not the last day, but the first day.
Yeah.
If you look at the Kim face, like at the moment, I just, you know, that should be the face in every day. Really big grin on the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
There isn't I have been involved with service business mainly. We haven't produced anything concrete, but doing things as a service for other people. So when we would like to get into position where we can choose with whom we can work, and fun comes into part in making the decision. Not all projects are projects that get us loads of cash or money. Some projects we are even doing for free because it seems to be so much fun, and we can probably get some sort of reference out of it. For example, we did a couple of years back the heavy metal knitting world championships. Our company did the marketing for that event, and we signed up for the marketing duty and spent some 20,000 euros of our own money to make that thing happen. Because it was such a crazy idea, such a cool event that I just had an idea that we need to see this happen. It will be so much fun to see this happen. So I was ready to throw in our resources so that we could make that happen. And now we have a company around it, and we're trying to make it happen again in the midst of Corona. So we are trying to see how that happens. But it has been like, I agree completely that it's not only the money, it's also about getting to fun projects and meeting fun people and having good time at the same time when you are trying to build up something.
Yeah, and you're proud of it. Is Mari still involved in this case?
Yes, she's the CEO. She's the main leader, and I'm a shareholder of the company. And our Tovari, our marketing agency, is still running the marketing and web development and video production and stuff. Things like this related to the heavy metal knitting things. So
yeah, we talked about with you about this a few days ago. Could you please tell about how many things you get? Like I don't remember how many articles there were in the world. There was like, it was like, I don't know.
Well, the amount of online articles published in 2019 July, the month that the event happened 2 years ago, the amount of articles published in worldwide magazines that Meltwater, this media following company, media analysis company, can follow. It was 1,500 articles in news outlets in online. But that doesn't include the radio shows in Japan and UK and South Africa and Australia and the 4 or 5 TV channels in Japan who air prime time the clips of the live shows and everything. So it was kind of way bigger. It was something that we could never see happening or coming.
It's like crazy because that's like attitude. Like you are like doing like heavy metal and knitting at the same time. That's like attitude, you know.
Yeah, it screams.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now we know a bit about you. So now would be a perfect time for questions for these people, or Jiri or Milja, or these people discuss and give their insights. So if you have anything to ask, now it's the perfect time because there's professional attitude people telling you about these things.
Yeah, I have a master's degree in attitude. Actually,
It's
getting my
very
PhD
important.
in 2 months. So yeah.
Actually, if you talk about attitude with Kim and with investors, you can throw him into wolves as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, because he just can, Nico.
Yeah, I've done some crazy things, I think. Yeah, so you're saying my camera is not visible. What?
It is visible.
Yeah,
It is. I think I wrote the wrong name. Sorry.
Yeah.
Too many letter I's.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there any questions popping up on top of your head or something you have been thinking about longer time and now you have the courage to ask? Because I can still read them aloud, or you can ask them for yourself, raising your hands with the little button in the bottom right corner. Nico, go ahead.
Well, I will be the brave one to begin. So yeah, I think Milja and Jiri, we've heard the unbelievable stories that you actually have. But for Timo and Kim and Joona, I really wanted to ask if you had to like point out 1 or 2 or maybe 3 events that essentially led to where you are today. What would you say that those things were? Because I feel like way too many times people only see what you are today, I think, as Milja mentioned earlier, and they don't actually see the journey we've taken.
Will we do it the other way around?
What was the event, or what was the question? What was the event?
Yeah, what happened to make you end up here? What was the key things? Yeah.
Kim, go ahead, Kim.
Okay, so I think the first one was I accidentally ended up studying game programming in Joensuu, and I didn't know what I was applying for. And then I had always wanted to make games, and then I learned how to make those games. And then I met some people during my studies who had were stupid enough to follow my stupid ideas. And that this is saying it with praise. It's not that I'm saying that they were like, but I was a crazy idea guy, and they jumped on the ship with me and followed. So that was one of the big events. Then of course, like taking the first time I met Ruohio, I think at the, I have to say this because I was completely afraid of him. because I was like, this is the big guy, you know, and now because I hadn't had any like formal meetings, you know, there was not much. I had jumped the entrepreneurial ship, and then there was this discussions about, I think it was draft program or something like this, and I was like going to meet Ruohio, and he's some big business guy, you know, who has been doing a lot of stuff, and now I need to talk to him. So but then after that, you know, you started suddenly realize that everybody we meet during our journey are only people, you know. We have all of us have done a little bit more, a little bit less, but in the end we are all human beings with human needs. And that's one of the core things I've learned on the track. But yeah, then after that, you know, one of the big events was also to get out from Joensuu, actually. So that was also a big change then. So I came to a position where I didn't see I could continue with my game industry ventures in Joensuu anymore. And then I ended up in Helsinki, and it has been another crazy ride. Not an easy ride, this one either. So there's been a lot of changes and going back and forth. But I think the most important, if I can sum it as at like a high level thing, is the people. So there's been hundreds of people on the ride, you know, jumping on and jumping off, and who has affected this whole journey from the side or in a more bigger impact, and that's probably the most important. All those discussions and everything. So.
Yeah, I like this style how Kim is rolling. It's really a good thing.
Yeah, it's not the same style as you, but there's something similar.
Yeah, you both have it. You both have it. You know, in Finland, I have to say, that there's not so many people like you guys who are so like some kind of you know. Because Kim, what you said about the people, it's all about the people. It's all about the people. Like what we have seen, Kim, in Illusion or on situations like that, stuff like that. You have been around.
Yeah.
You're a young guy, but you still have been around, and you know all the right persons.
Yes.
And I hope somebody has the records of the pitches Kim made.
Yeah, there's. I once went to an ice hole. That's on YouTube. I was sober, and I stayed
once
there for 3 minutes.
You had a beer, I remember.
What? Yeah, once I opened a beer at the end of the pitch, and yes, I won a couple of those pitching competitions. So
yeah, pitch me up or stuff like that.
There came
I have to say that it's like so. I'm so proud to see those people who are like you, like Kim or Jiri or Milia, who are like
Joona.
Yeah. Don't forget Joona. He's still here. Like I still wake up. It's almost 9 o'clock. Yeah, he still wake up. But still, like it's all about the persons who you know, and your attitude is the thing that if person wants to know you. If anything, what Kim have today say, because we have people around that once Kim was in the restaurant with one investor who said to him that this is my credit card, give us some drinks, and this is my license numbers and stuff like that. You know, it's all about trust and all about the persons who you know. It's really, really important. Yeah.
There was one question from Ivan in the comments. He asked how to find a crazy person to join you and make your crazy idea happen, and how to find a co-founder or partner. I kind of have experience that answers a bit to that question, and also the bit to question that Nico asked about the, I wouldn't say life-changing events, but kind of an event that led me to this point in this company and working with the things that I'm working at the moment. And it goes back to the first day of university in University of Applied Sciences in Joensuu. I started studying international business, Russian studies, and on the first day of the university, kind of dictated a lot about the relationship of me and my current business partner Jussi, because I was late. I was 2 hours late on the first day of university, and Jussi was sitting in the class and thinking, oh, what the hell is this guy doing? This guy coming late 2 hours on the first day of university. So he's still bitching me about the fact that I came late on the first day of university, and I've never been too much stressful about the timetables or this kind of stuff. So, but we have managed quite well. We noticed with Jussi that we are basically, if you have personality types, we are of extreme ends, but we share quite a lot of values in common. So our ideas about for example money or people or how to grow a business or how to do things are actually quite on the same level, but on personality types we are very different people when we are presenting stuff or when you talk to us. But we saw when we did 50 projects approximately during the 6 years, we noticed that when we are so different, two very different kinds of people who are still on the same level, who still have the same values, we can get a lot of things done. Because Jussi is excellent in some things that I'm very poor at, and I'm very excellent in some things that Jussi is extremely poor at. And I think that makes us kind of good team to be running a business. So that's a thing we got. Why we started the business together. It basically was the reason that we already had 50 projects that we did together in the university. Some of them were tiny, some of them were larger. So we had really great trust in each other formed during the university years. So that's why we got a good start with the business, because we knew who we were dealing with. We didn't have fresh from somewhere another guy that we would need to know. So I would say that if you are in the university at the moment, look around you and check out who do you get along with, who is a different type of personality, but still who you can get along with. That's a good place to start when finding a business partner.
Yeah, Joona, thank you very much for the input. This is Ivan. I hope I'm allowed to open the mic.
Yeah, of
Nico.
course.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a challenge to find the other crazy persons to join your cause, actually. So your input is very valuable, and thank you very much, Joona.
Yeah, no problem.
Timo, you have raised your hand. You have something to say.
Yeah, I have a question for Joona and for Milja. Both of you, if you think about the thing about attitude and values, how you think about, because somebody is saying that values is like nowadays like really big thing, but someone else is saying that okay, they're not in sales yet. People are still thinking about. So how do you think about values in company and sales? Because I know Joona's brother Mika, who has made the amazing proceed with Poor Artist. We can talk about that later on, but still, how do you think, Joona and Milja, about values and sales? Joona first. How do you think about Joona about that?
I think values is a way to differentiate yourself and your company. So I see values as a way of doing things. How things are done in this company is the values of the company, not the ones that you write on sales pitch deck. If those are not true, the values need to be very true. You need to act on those. You need to basically show your values every day in business negotiations. I'll share the values of Puu artist. I think I have it in English. We actually call the values of wood artism, Puu artism. So we try to develop an own ism. But if you check the website, it's basically 5 rules that we work with. It's 5 principles, 5 values, and basically we sell things based on these. So if someone comes to a website and asks that, hey, I want table exactly like this, or I want sauna exactly like this that you have made for other people, we point them to the value number 5. We always try something new. We say that we can make something like it. We can get inspiration from existing things, but we always create something new. And that's, for example, one big thing that differentiates wood artist saunas from everybody else's. Everybody else's are copying the existing things. I have done that before, so I can make it now efficiently. We don't really think that way. We think that then doing the thing anew makes a lot of value to the customer. So that's how you are able to sell saunas for Supercell, and they get interested in, because the sauna has stories and it has a lot more value to them when it's unique, when it's made based on these principles. So I see it from that perspective. The values can increase the value of your offering to the customer quite heavily.
It's kind of part of your company's attitude is your values. And there's a funny stories about these cases, but Milia, how do you comment on that? How do you comment on that? It is attitude and values. Is it like the same things, or do they different? How do you think?
I need to agree with the Joona, because there's a lot of speak about the values, and most companies make really empty promises and really empty values, and lie has no leg, and the actions later shows that there was no reason to talk about the values because they didn't mean nothing. And I think that this example that Joona showed us about the principles is really good example, and I really love the wording here. Without the values word, you are using principle, and it really shows up and erottaa muista. Tästä 100 pistettä ja papukaijan merkki heti. I think that values, that actions goes to, like Joona said, that it's, I think that Joona and I has the same way to do the work. There is no work and there is no actions without the values or principles. And it should be that way, because that's the only honest way to keep the asiakaslupaus. And so that's the only way also to create the trust between the customers and have a long relationship with the customers. You have to promise something that is really true.
In this point, I will ask, are our panelists very busy? So if the conversation goes on for longer, do you have to leave at 9 p.m. sharp, or could you go a few minutes over?
They close my internet at 9 sharp. So here in
Greetings from the hotel. I'm so lonely whole week, so I would like to have a conversation during the midnight. So please.
Then the evening will continue. Confirmed.
Yes.
Yeah,
Don't
I
leave
will
me.
need to leave 9 o'clock actually.
I have 3 and 5-year-old kids at the house, but they are already asleep, so I'm in a no hurry today. and I actually managed to drink one beer before coming to the event. So I think I need to dose it off before I hit the wheel.
Yeah.
Susanna asked about giving 100% of attention energy. Is it good in the long run?
No.
I would say no as well. I think I haven't. I don't consider that I have had a complete crash and down burnout, but I have been very tired with both related to the birth of my children, and when the family life has been hectic, it always reflects also to the business life. And in any part of your life when it gets hectic, all the other responsibilities don't just vanish or disappear. I've had a few kind of small cycles of getting too much stuff on my to-do list and then emptying the to-do list completely by just reassigning and saying no to things. I've learned to say no like 2 years ago. The first 3 years of business was just doing yes things and attending all the events and attending everything. But now I think I've readjusted my priorities a bit so that I don't go and crash and burn with the workload that I'm having. So I would say no.
Yeah, I have the
I
same.
have a funny thing about attitude, because if I'm watching these screens that I see those persons, the shortest of ADHD, is familiar for all of us, and I've been there like few times during my time, and I'm thinking about this attitude about how to sleep is like something that I'm thinking, but that's not thinking about this meeting about this attitude and changes. Kim, you have like changed a lot during the years. How do you have done that, like mentally? Have you like been thinking that, okay, do I like being proud of my first thing, and how do I succeed with next thing? How you kind of move along with these changes? How do you get along?
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of my natural habitat to always end up in situations which are kind of unfamiliar. I tend to get bored quite easily of things, so I try to find new challenges. But that's also can be very exhausting if you don't, how would you say, put your values right. So we were talking about company values, but I think which values are even more valuable are your own values. So what I did during Firetail Games, my first priority was work. Then it was having fun or having a party, because that was, something to relieve the stress. And then after that, maybe, seeing doing some hobbies or something, but that was very minimal. And and then at the end, maybe there was my health and my friends and my family. So, and I think we are human beings, can be quite complicated beings, but also our needs are quite simple. So we need to have some bread in the table, or how we say it in Finnish, and a roof on our head, and then do something that makes us feel good about ourselves. And then of course you need a friend and those people who love you and getting the respect from them. But when you get overboard with working like a crazy maniac, and you kind of forget all those basic needs of yourself, then it most likely will end up in the situation where you are burning the candle from the both ends, and then you how would you say, burn the candle to the end. And how I managed to survive this whole changes is that I've realized these values. I now admit when I don't have what it takes, you know. So if I can't manage something, then I'd go do something completely else until I can manage that. Not staying in that situation where you are feeling like I can't, and then just staying in that situation, not changing anything. So I think it's very important that if it's not getting anywhere and you feel like you need rest, then you just somehow need to put that. You need to make that decision that, hey, I need to rest now, because that's the only way that's gonna help you in that situation. Because if you don't rest, you will not perform any better. So that's how I would say.
What about you had a short while in your dad's shop?
Yeah, I'm still actually helping him out a lot with that company. So he started like a meat store in Espoo, like a very traditional. Yeah.
I was just thinking, was it like good for you have a short break from your normal business, kind of, to have totally different things?
Well, I would never. I think it's the most boring job I've done. Because it's the problems I need to solve there are so simple. And there's usually when my dad is doing that, so when he's not selling something, he's preparing some products. But I was only able to sell things. So when there's no customers and there's not like 5 or 10 people in line, it gets you are starting to look at the clock like, oh. But when I'm doing my own things like programming or doing something very engaging, planning, something where you get in the flow state of mind, then time just bloop. It just goes 8 hours and you didn't even realize. And that's something that makes me at least feel quite it's nice when time goes fast, and sometimes it's not that nice.
So you should do what you like to do.
Yeah.
Pihka, we have a time schedule here.
Yes, we have a schedule, and also Milja and Jiri, you have your hands up. Was it concerning these 110 energy?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. I hit my knee. Would you, Milja, tell first about this?
Yeah.
And then Jiri after that.
There's a lot. I hate the business talk about the giving 100% and waking up at 4 a.m. and being effective as fuck, because it's not true. There's a lots of studies that how many hours you can actually be really productive and really effective, and other time is just where you remember how the Homer Simpson and his head goes with the monkeys, ding ding ding. There's actually nothing productive happening. So my way to survive that I won't burn out again, I noticed that my best hours to work is on the early morning. I'm really, really active and I'm really, really effective, and I can do really nice and tarkkaa työtä. But then after 12, 4 p.m., I suck so much. I'm totally used to useless, so I don't even try to do nothing, because it only consumes me and my energy when I'm trying to do something that it's not just gonna happen. And then I have a second active period on nighttime. I start to work like 5, 6 and go 3, 4 hours, and then I again can do stuff. And that only matters the times when you can do stuff, when you can create stuff, or when you can do tarkkaa työtä. It doesn't matter the 100% and 24 hours on a day. Please don't go there. You are the tool. You don't have nothing. If you fail yourself, you have nothing. So you have to take care of yourself, because actually it's you have no other choice. And the thing is that you have to be also ennakoivasti. You need to decide what you do to take care of you and how you do your daily work before something happens. You need to understand at this moment that you need to take some actions before you are really, really tired.
That's a very, very good point. You can give 100% per day, but also you include yourself into the 100%. Yes. Jiri, tell about us
solid
energy.
point, Millie, and I kind of try and think that not any company in the world is as value as life and good health. And the way I do it is that I try only to do the necessary stuff. I delegate and I wake up really early on the mornings. But for example, yesterday I played computer games from 5 a.m. to 7:30 or something like that. So I've learned to take my own time. That's one thing that I really needed to understand to learn, that I can sleep if there's an email. I don't need to reply it immediately. And I kind of grow my own set of balls when I was 30, and just do it. And I actually need to go now. Thanks for having me, and it was nice seeing you, Kim.
Yes.
Well, and Milja, hi, and Joona. We have had chats and meetings during the years, and we are using Joona's services. And Timo, it was nice to meet you again, see you again, and thanks Nico and Pihka. And I've had emails from you guys, the viewers. I will get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye, Jiri.
Bye-bye.
Jiri, bye.
Yes. Nico, you have had your hand raised. It disappeared.
Yeah, I didn't have a question. No.
Okay. Is there our participants? Is there any questions? Any things you want to know from our panelists? Is there other things about life and attitude that pop in?
I have one comment. One comment shortly. Your job should be as nice as your hobby, that you want to do it yet, if you know what I mean. That you want to do it, you're happy with that. So think about your life as a journey to happiness. It should be nice and fun. So your job or your company should be as fun as your hobby. As in Jiri's case, it's golf. Or in Milja's case, it's the flowers. So think about life as a journey that is dream come true. So that's the attitude that I want to show you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I could comment to this that that's should be, I think, your northern star, you know, where you want to go, but you probably need to do a lot of things that you will hate at some point during your life, or not hate, but you know, you can't, it's as Timo said, it's a journey, so you might end up doing something that is not as feasible, and you still need to get the best out of those experiences as well. But it's more about like getting most of the chunk of your woke time on something that you find valuable and interesting and engaging and stimulating, and that really gets you driving. And if it's something you really hate, you have to like just get through that phase and know that after this I will do something that I will enjoy. So yes.
The first job rarely is the job that is the dream job.
Yes.
I don't know anyone whose first job has been, or first kind of real long-term relationship with an employer has been the dream job. It's always a kind of progress working towards something. My first workplace was working in the bottle room of City Market Pilkko. I was the guy who put the bottles into the crates and lifted the crate on top of another crate, and then lifted up more bottles from the returning pants returning machines. And I did that for money. It was no passion at all. It was only for the money. But I still see it as a valuable experience and a stepping stone towards being a meat guy. I was also selling and cutting meat in City Market after I was working couple of years in the bottle room.
Yes, Milja, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you this story about I have been on my current work 5 years, and I'm 45 now. But before that there was a period of employment, and I took a job where I was supposed to be a joulutonttu, what you call the elf.
Christmas elf.
Christmas elf, and I had the stupid hat, and I went to my current workplace and picked up the Christmas wine bottles and did have a share round around the other companies who are now paying me for leading the diversity and inclusion program. So I was this Christmas elf, and then suddenly I'm here. So also I hated that, but I did need to do that. I was 40, I need to do that. I needed the money, but it created the opportunity to do something else. So word of the encouragement, it might lead to something else, even though it feels sometimes so humiliating or something like that. But it's a work, it's a money, so it's honest work.
Actually, I got remembered my first job, which was giving candy in K supermarket dressed up as a banana, and the children weren't very happy because it was a very scary banana costume, so it was kind of traumatizing experience when you're trying to make them happy, but they start crying furiously. So, and I didn't get much money. It was honest work, you would say, but that's didn't create much opportunities either. But yeah, it was a good start.
You had to put that in your CV. Like, scary guy. Yeah, that's good one. That's good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there's a real career options a lot apparently of dressing up as some weird fantasy characters. If
But
Milja also ended up in this, it's interesting.
But we don't talk about the porn career here, I hope. Yeah. Yeah. So Pihka, are you still around?
Yes, I am still here. Yes.
You're still around. Did you have enough answers to your questions? What you have a thought in your mind that might end up in this event's discussions?
Yeah, I'm really bad at being quiet if I have something to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was wondering from this Christmas banana miracle, Nico's raised hand.
We don't want to see that again in our minds in next night streams.
Yeah, basically, I wanted to build on some of the things that were said in the chat, and of course were covered in the discussion as well, regarding the attitude. And I mean, as the representative of yours, of course, attitude is definitely a big thing that keeps you going forward. But also, if you do want to connect with people, I highly recommend posting some links in the chat so people can actually connect with you. That would be a major help, probably for everyone here. So that would be awesome.
I need to check my LinkedIn, what it's called.
What do you think?
Banana Master 69 or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think at the nowadays? it best to call or put a LinkedIn mail or whatever mail? Is it best to call or put the email or LinkedIn? Joona, you are the professional of this marketing thing. How do you see things? Is it best to call or put a LinkedIn or email? How do you recommend?
I don't know. Depends a lot on the receiving party. I am a person who you can't really get the hold of through phone. I'm either in training sessions or coaching sessions or workshops or stuff like this. There's actually on my business card that it says I never answer, but I always call back. That if you try to phone me, some people commented, "Oh, this was actually true that you have never answered my phone call, but then you have somehow communicated back." For me, it's definitely some LinkedIn message or I would say LinkedIn even more than email. My email also gets clogged when I'm training. So it depends on the person who is at the other end. There are some people that I do business with that hate email, that hate social media, so I call them. So that's their personal preference. So I go by the receiving party's personal preference, and I try to act in a manner that what the others would like me to contact them. So I do that.
I personally like LinkedIn, so I think that because LinkedIn is kind of, it's not the social media for professionals, but kind of somewhere is there. I think that would be the best answer. That LinkedIn is always a good place, anyhow. Yeah.
I think LinkedIn is a very robust way to store a lot of contacts in a very convenient way. So that's it's very good way to have a good database of contacts. So.
If you think about this social media nowadays, I have like tons of different kind of Gmails and emails and Teams, and I cannot go to Tinder because I'm blocked out, because I asked you funny questions about that, because I asked that do you have fake profiles in there, and they blocked me out. LinkedIn, I'm here, person live.
Actually, if I can jump in here, Milja, you mentioned earlier on in the presentation that you were actually covering the topic of social selling later on this week. You probably have some burning tips here as well, because I personally have some sales experience, of course, and I agree with Joona. I personally love calling people, but you can't do that. People don't like when you call them.
It was horrible to notice when I moved to Joensuu and started to Mimikkoda here, and Joensuu people, they are really loving to call. They are fucking calling me every day, and then they trying to call me again, and I'm like, Joona, I'm on the meetings or whatever whole day, and I'm never going to call back. So Joona is a little bit better person than me. I'm not calling back because I actually don't have time. So I prefer all kind of emails and this social media stuff and community, the PMs, DMs. But what you were saying about the social selling? If you want to pitch your ideas and stuff like that, you need to be out and loud on social media, because then you find the connections, and then you find the hints and people and communities, because these communities and people who are these crazy people, they are always underground, which means that you cannot see those discussions in LinkedIn. You have to find the community, and then you go to the Slack, and then you go to Discord, and then you speak there, and then you are out and loud there, or then you have the Facebook group or stuff like that. So you need to grind quite a lot.
What about this? Because I have this feeling that people should have like few hours a day, like 1 hour or 2 hours, even 2 hours, free time that if somebody calls, you have time to react. That you don't have to say that let's meet on 2 years or 2 weeks after this, because it's like so fucking annoying. Like, I don't have time for my customers. Like, I'm saying that I have the money, it's like a few thousand euros, and you're saying like let's meet after 2 weeks, and that's like not good. So I'm thinking that should we have like some kind of thing that we should have like at least 1 hour per day. 1 hour per day. You can do your things, but you have 1 hour per day. If somebody calls, you can say that, okay, I have 1 hour for you tomorrow. Because people would buy money for that. 1 hour just for you.
Yeah, but the problem is that you might have already a backlog. So if you don't get the positive feedback, or if you don't get the time from the people you want, it doesn't mean necessarily that you suck, or your problems suck. For me, it means that my calendar is way too. It's 120% full because I have a lots of projects already. I have a lots of amazing people. I have a lots of amazing projects and stuff to do, and I'm just the only one human, and I can do a certain amount of stuff. It doesn't mean that I don't like you. It doesn't mean that I love you, but I already loved something else earlier, and I need to finish that project before. So keep in mind that timetables might be not so good for you, but new opportunities and windows open on in other times.
Yeah, but that's like, it just makes me mad, because if I need something, I want to call like today or tomorrow, and you are saying that let's meet after 2 weeks. I'm like, okay.
Well, if you really need to talk with Milja, then you need to wait 3 weeks. That's like I can tell another like there's a new pizza place in Kauklahti where my dad has the meat store, and there's 2-week line.
Really?
You need to order 2 weeks in advance, and they are fully booked all the time. So if you want pizza, you need to know in 2 weeks I will have the pizza. But it's so good that people still order, and I think Milja's the phone call with Milja in 3 weeks is amazing. So people will wait for that.
Okay, so if you're really good,
Timo, if you want furniture
really
from
good,
wood artist, you should be getting that 2022 September. That's the first step. We can send you a chair.
Well, if you're really good, you'll think, okay, the timeline is September. Yeah, that's good. If you're really good, your attitude to wait for that. Yeah.
You need to value your own time. And what I would add to this also is probably Milja is sometimes at some event. Now Corona is obviously where she is like in the mood or in the mode of meeting new people and actually is talking to new people. Sorry for using you as an example again here. And there it's much easier then. So I would say it in for example events. And stuff like this, where people are in a mindset of coming there to actually meet new people, then it's very easy to have a discussion with these people. And in these events, what I've seen the most valuable is everybody's talking business. So if you can talk about anything else than business, everybody will be very willing to talk to you. So there is a lot of people who have been talking business for 2 days straight, doing all these meetings, and then at the night party they want to talk about something completely different usually. At least for me that has worked out. So I'm the random guy who comes talk about philosophy or something like this, and it's diversification. You have your own niche there where everybody else is pushing their product in your face, and you come talk about philosophy or something different. So that's also something to keep in mind. That yes.
So I have to talk with Milja about flowers and get the meeting like.
You muted yourself. Maybe
it's gonna work. If it's plants, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pihka.
Yes. A few last questions, if there is. And I think we could end this amazing event with a good mind and have very, very good ideas to sleep on. But if you have any questions to ask, now is the time for it before we go to have amazing attitudes, dreams, and yeah. Is there any more questions from anybody?
Nico appeared from the shadows like he has something to say, but
I'm here to deliver the ending words. Let's go.
Okay.
I think about this attitude thing. We have in Finland. We have few good people. This person called Ritta Liukas. She's a really good person to speak. If you think about attitude, I think with every time the positivity is good thing. If you think about Kim or Joona or Milja or Pihka, you're all smiling. And that's good if you talk about sales. And it's all about the sales.
Yeah.
So that's my final point. Think about it in positive way.
Helps with life in general to have a positive mindset and see the good things in all of the trouble and and the challenges. So
Awesome. Pihka, go ahead. Before you go, from Joas's point of view and my point of view, thank you very much for coming. It was awesome having you here. Thanks for Kim, Joona, Jiri, Milja, Timo. It's super awesome that you had the opportunity to join us. And Pihka, take it away.
This was our first made together happening with Pyro and Joes, and Pyro is the student council of Riveria. And it was amazing that we could make this happen in such a short notice. I got the phone call in the end of March, and now it's a bit over halfway through April, and we've had this amazing event with amazing speakers, with amazing panel, with amazing people asking questions. And I'm really happy you all could came here, and I'm really happy you told us about attitude and for the information you all gave to me and to everybody else here. So thank you and good night. And next year, next how to, I don't know who yours does work with. Maybe it's me, maybe it's someone else. Nobody knows yet. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Have a lovely night. Good night.
Bye bye.